Okay.
See, did it work?
Hey guys, welcome back to. I'm just gonna go because there's usually like a delay. Like I see comments, so like I think we're
Okay.
live.
All right. We are. Okay.
Someone
We're
let
good.
me
I
know in
see
the comment
comments.
section that we're not. Hey guys, this is Charles from the channel Books on Stereo. We're here to do our next episode of our live show, I should say, of the Immortals After Dark read along. We will be talking about The Warlord Wants Forever, Untouchable / Deep Kiss of Night, right? Or Winter?
Winter.
And then finally, The Pleasures of a Dark Prince.
Yes.
And I have Izzy here today, my co-host for this read along, and I'm just gonna say it, there will be spoilers. So if you haven't read the books, I'm sorry, but you can watch this later.
Partner just threatened to turn the lights off on me while we're live. This is so rude.
And sorry everyone, I'm on puppy sitting right now, so if I say Chloe, I'm not like calling Izzy the wrong name.
I'm gonna react like you're yelling. I'm gonna be like, excuse me. I'll go full Karen on you.
Oh, please don't.
No,
so I think
never.
I
would never.
Let's start with the first book, The Warlord Wants Forever. So this is a romance between a Valkyrie and a vampire. So it's Roth and
it's Nikolai Roth and Mist.
Miss. So what do you think? I've got our notes
up. We're good to go. Okay, I struggle with this one. I read this one first back in the day. And I totally see why I don't recommend people start with this one for a reason. Because though it is 0.5, I feel like you're just thrown in with no details. And it's just like, run. And it's like, what is going on? What is this world? What is happening? Who are all these people? Why am I supposed to know them somehow? Like, it's such a mess. But I love that Mist and Nikolai are both like, ew, love. At the end of the day, like, they're both kind of like, this is affection. I don't like this.
I don't really care for this. But you gotta admit, her flirting with him to get out of the cage. She's like, I'll do whatever you want. I was like, I love her so much.
Oh, you too.
But I do have to agree with you. I read the novella first when I first started the series. Chloe, sorry. When I first started the series, and I knew it was going to be confusing going into it, so I didn't ask too many questions. So I was like, okay, we have Valkyries. Like, the world is like already established. This is like a nice little segue story, but now reading it in the context of the books, I'm like, oh wait, we read Other Brothers from like Roth's Eli's character, and like Misty connects to the Valkyries, and we know Emma and all those other characters, and Nick, so it makes
references that you just don't. I don't even think you would pick up necessarily continuing the series the other way, because you wouldn't like. I don't know. Like, I just feel like you would be like, wait, who, what, how? And I feel for Nikolai because he's like going insane basically, because Mist is like, no, I'm going to torment you forever because I can.
Like, especially when she gets broken out, she's like, the Valkyries is just like, why don't you kill him? This is gonna totally kill your cred. And like, oh no, I got him aroused, and I'm just gonna leave punishment.
This is like
I just love how the Valkyries are described, and they just seem like really murderous, stabby first. Stab first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
100% not even ask questions later. They're just like stab, and they're like, I like how like
I love
the brothers are like, oh no, I think I'm getting my books mixed up. But like how the Valkyries are like 3,000 plus years old, and so like they're very, very stubborn.
They just don't care. Give me shiny.
Give me love shiny her necklace. I love the whole. It worked for me in this book. It was just like when she's running away and he grabs a necklace, she's like, oh shit, and he's like, stop. And she's like, dang it. I just like love that because it's like it kind of brings her to her knees a little bit.
Yeah,
like bringing the alpha to her. Like how you
I love that dynamic with them, right? Because they're both kind of bringing each other down a notch in ways that they never expected. Because I do feel like I don't think Mist ever expected it, nor did the Roth brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's fun also seeing the Roth brothers storyline wrapped up.
Yeah, because we had Conrad in Noemi's book, which I think is book 4. And then what was the other? What's the other brother? Is Conrad, Eli?
Book 2. We had tiebacks in all of these to books 1, 2, and 4, right? Yeah. So we had tiebacks. Yeah. Oh, it might have been. YouTube does that sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it lags. It's clear on our end.
Yeah. But yeah, so in this one we tied back to the Hausman tie, whatever thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian. And then we tie back to Conrad and Noemi.
Yeah. So I like seeing, like, knowing who these other characters were. So it didn't enhance my enjoyment of the story. Mm-hmm. I still liked it, but it just added, I wouldn't say it didn't change the way I came up the story too much. Yeah.
Does that make sense? It was like, I was like, it's like when you watch the Marvel movies and you catch the Easter eggs and you're like, oh shit. And then you just go on with your day and you don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it felt. I still think it is the worst starting point.
You're kind of thrown, but I like it because, like, you can kind of get a taste. Because I feel like the first book is a lot for a lot of people. And maybe a lot of people maybe go like, okay, maybe this series is not for me. This one is, like, on the, like, wilder side, but it's not too wild.
Mm-hmm.
But I get why people might not want to, like, start with this one first, because, like, you don't understand. In general, Cressley Cole doesn't have the best world building. I could critique her a little bit. You have to read maybe 8 books to see how it connects.
You do. So, and I would say, like, it just depends on what kind of reader you are, right? Like, because some people don't mind it, but there are people who will be like, I'm not reading this. I'm lost. I'm confused. I'm like, then it's not.
I need to know how all these creatures came into being. What's their lore? What happened? I'm sorry, Laura.
I know, that's the worst. That's interesting that you would recommend people start here, Bailey. Did I do that? Okay, no, you did. I was like, I literally was hovering on the comment. I was like, how the fuck? Because I totally disagree. I don't think this gives you enough of the intensity and wildness of Cressley. And depending on what you prefer, the first 3 books are where I would recommend people to start, or Conrad and Noemi, depending on your interests. Because you could definitely circle back. We're almost hitting. So I feel like after the 3rd book that we read this month, Pleasures of a Dark Prince, you can't. I don't think you can just pick up the books and start again for a little bit. I think you could start Pleasures of a Dark Prince and go back or forward. You could pick up the demon, our boys, the demons from Cade and read Rydstrom and go forward or back. But we're getting into like that weird area of like you can't quite jump around.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I would actually, maybe it would be a better reading order if you group it by like siblings.
It could be.
If that makes sense. So you have the vampire brothers, you have the demon brothers. I feel like if you read those, because they all connect at different points. Like,
so, I don't feel like you could read McGreeve, which is the last of the McGreeve clan brothers book, because that one's like books 15 or something. Like, it's almost too late. But like these early ones, you could jump around a little more. It's definitely just I just got my mom to start reading the series, and she's like, why don't I start with the first one? I was like, just don't read the first one yet. I was like, download Fated Mates, go in their order. Please and thank you. Talk to me when you're done. She loved the first book, by the way. She was like, this is amazing. And I was like, haha. Another convert.
Yeah. I actually agree with this comment a little bit.
Exactly.
Just because the way Cressley like constructed the world, the books, it's hard to like, there isn't really like an amazing reading order. Like you can start with like the Fated Mates or like some type of where you just read the books in order and connect them. But sometimes I wish when I read like one book, like when I read Warlord Wants Forever, I wish I was reading book 2 and then what was it? And book 4, right? Book 4, book 2 and 4. I wish I was reading those at the same time because then those characters would have been fresher in my head. And like I
could see that.
understand. I want someone to lay out the timeline a little bit for this series. It's kind of
it's hard because this early part is, and when we go to Torture Island this month and we begin that journey, it's like all stacked on top. So I feel, if I recall correctly, I feel like it's all very stacked when we get to Torture Island, and that's hard, in my opinion, to keep straight. Yeah, I get the world building not working. I personally like it because I don't need a ton of world building in my paranormal romances. It's actually part of what I don't like about the Guild Hunter series I read from Nalini Singh. It felt too world dumpy. I am already well ahead of my mom in books this year, so that's not a problem.
Are you guys still having that competition again?
No, because I'm killing her.
She beat you last year.
Yeah, she beat me last year. Yeah, I'm already over 100 books this year. I mean, I'm sure you're at like 400 already, Charles. It's fine, but
it's to each their own. But yeah, that's interesting because like since I'm doing like the what was it, the side changeling, read all at the same time, I find myself either in the mood for one or the other, but not both.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think you have to be in the mood for that, a different kind of world building for this.
Yeah.
These, I've said it before, these are my id straight up. Like, they have exactly what I want. And like, even her softest of alpha males, her like betas or cinnamon roll heroes are not they're still not pushovers. There's no like pushover, and I love that. I don't know, I think it's fun, and none of the heroines are like truly pushovers, actually, if you read them, I feel like, and aren't just like worried about. I mean, I know Emma feels something, but we see Emma grow in that first book, even, like nobody feels like, I don't know. Does that make sense? I never feel like a heroine's helpless, I guess, in these, really. It can seem that way, but by the end, you never feel like they were ever truly helpless.
I agree. You can say in general, for like the way, like if you want to like generalize Cressley's like Cole's plot structure, is usually like the male is like super interested in the female so far in these books, and the female's like, no, bye, for like pretty much the whole entire book.
Yep, it's the best.
And then it's like, okay, maybe we can give this a shot. She like,
and then I'm gonna leave you with blue balls.
And I'm gonna leave you, and then I'm gonna go somewhere else, and now you're frustrated, and I'm still gonna say, no, I have these other things I have to do. And then finally, after they almost go through like something like death defying, then the female's like, maybe we can give this a shot.
I'm sorry, the Christian romance book is very funny to go with Cressley Cole. It's fine.
Oh. Yeah, so I wouldn't classify her heroines are probably, I would say most of them are alphas.
Yeah, they're prickly. They're at the very least prickly. They are not roll over and take it heroines, which is my cup of tea. I love when two alpha like strong characters have to go at each other to figure out how to be together. Because like, what's better?
Yeah, it's like it's fun watching them navigate that dynamic, and like where one wants to like two strong personalities. So, like how can that's interesting from a plot way.
What did you think? Because like we have the chain, right, and she's under his control through the chain for a while there, and like in chapters 6, 7, I made notes about how like they're hooking up, but like we're in Mist's head, so we know it's not the chain making her okay with it. So I think that helps, but the consent in this one is still, I think, dubious at best. A little bit. It borders.
It borders. I feel like I give it more allowances because it's paranormal.
Yeah.
And like, it's an easier sell. It wasn't too much like you said, since we are in her head, it's not like, okay, like, like she's into this. Like, even in Pleasures of a Dark Prince, there's like some scenes where like, he gets a little bit too handsy, kind of jumping ahead, but like the heroine like clearly like she's into it.
There's other indications beyond a like vocal consent, I feel like happening. Yeah. Yeah, Warlord Once Forever is fine. It's I don't know what you rated. I give it like a 3.5. It's like it's fine.
Yeah,
I kind of want more from it. I wish it was longer because I think that they're kind of fun to see together.
They're a fun couple.
And I just feel like we don't get quite enough of them to really connect with them.
Yeah, I found it weird that she chose like the last of the brothers to get only a novella. But like it was a longer novella. The audio was like around 5 hours, so it wasn't.
I don't remember because I just remember I finished it like an hour and a half. I was like, oh, it's done. Okay, we're done now. Okay. What year did this one come out? Is I guess the other question.
I don't know. So what is this?
See, I think it's all in how you view consent and what kind of books you already read.
Yeah.
I do think consent for me does not always have to be vocal, like yeses or any of that. So
it can be like where your body.
Yeah, like it can be like
it can be nonverbal.
Yeah. It's definitely. I don't know. I can see that. I can see why the consent doesn't work for people, but I just feel like, I don't know, it's different when you're. It's not different. I just feel like it works. Yeah, I think it is 2006. The repub was like in 2016 apparently, and it doesn't want to show me. It's like 20, and I was like, it did not come out then.
Yeah.
But I know that it came out.
If you want the physical copy, you have to buy like the bind up like with 2 other novella stories.
Oh, do you?
It's like with Larissa, Eon, and then Gina.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's those 3. Because I know Deep Kiss and whatever you want to call it, Untouchable, is in a bind up with a Gina Showalter novella.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to talk about Untouchable and Elsa?
Yes.
Before Elsa?
Let's talk about the ice situations that our characters and our man horror hero.
Our almost like cinnamon roll hero. Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Like until the very end. Almost a cinnamon roll, which is bananas.
I love this one. Like they're back and forth.
I don't like this one.
It worked like because I think the next book, not to spoil anything, but the next book like low key pissed me off between those 2 main characters.
Oh, I love the next book.
Because like it was relying. Okay, I feel like it was. I would say this about that book. It was relying too much on withholding secrets and miscommunication. I was like, hold up. I was like, chick, like we need to talk right now. You're like, he like genuinely wants, and like I get it if you have other things, but you could just say, hey, I want to go kill my husband and do that quest, and then I'll get back to you.
I have thoughts on that. We'll get there. Let's talk about our ice maiden Elsa. Who literally the whole time I was just like, let it go. Walking around my house and like stopping, humming the dang song. I was like, oh my god, stop. And Murdoch, who is a McGreeve brother. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I really like this one.
Okay, what works for you about
novella?
It's almost a novella. It's just over 200 and some pages.
Yeah, I realized it was a little bit longer than the Warlord, like maybe by like an hour.
Yeah,
so but I was like,
almost.
It's almost like a novella length.
Just over the line for a novella, I feel like.
Okay, because it felt like pretty almost like a full length.
Mm-hmm. I agree. 270 pages it says, so I guess it is.
You can consider that a full length, but what worked for me is I really like the relationship between our 2 main characters. It was enough back and forth where I didn't get personally annoyed.
I can see that.
But I can see why people. I feel like these next 2 books, like I feel like either like one, because I feel like they both do like similar things a little bit, but
yeah, they're very bantery. Both of these books.
They're very bantery, and you have like a lot of frustration between the 2 main characters.
A lot of miscommunication.
Like the whole Ice Queen thing, and then like, Yeah, I like the whole dilemma. I like that like we can't touch for like a really, really good reason because
It
I
is
will
the
burn you.
best setup for we can't touch ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't feel like that setup's easy to do in any capacity. Like it's a hard one. And it's just like this worked on that level. But yeah, I didn't feel a lot of chemistry between them. I felt like he was just like, you're my mate, just get over it. We're gonna get married. And she was just like lost in the sauce the whole book. To an extent,
I can see that.
me. I felt like she was so confused. Like, and I understand that part of this is also the not knowing what you are or who your parents are, and then like the whole later on when the guy shows up, the ice guy.
Yeah, the ice guy. Is his name Joven? Joven or something like that?
Maybe. This is
so.
how uninterested in that book I was. I was like, yeah, whatever. This dude shows up. They have a kiss. And I was like, whatever. Who cares? I do like, I always love how we fuck with Nyx's prophecies that come about.
Yes.
But they're not actually fucking with them. Like, she's saying what's happening. It just doesn't happen how you, like, the way she says it. Because she says you're going to give up your crown or something, or you're going to find your king. I can't remember what it was. It was something like that. And she does that. It's just not her actually, like, ascending a throne. She just says, I'm not going to do this. You rule this icy territory.
Nyx is, like, the most unhelpful but helpful. Especially when you get into the next book. She's, like, she is so unhelpful. She's like, I wrote on a setup. I think it's the third book.
It's my favorite setup.
I wrote on a post-it note. And she was like, I wrote on a post-it note and apparently told me XYZ, you have to go do this. And I was like,
look, we'll get into Nyx in the next book. I love Nyx. She's fucking Nyx is the best. And the icicle personally just was a big turnoff for me. I was not
It's a hard sell of a book. Like this premise, like it's a. I feel like Kresley was like, I want to write a Snow Queen romance in my series. In one,
I just want to know who read this and then wrote Frozen. I was like, somebody read this and then go write Frozen. That's what I want. I want Kresley credited on Frozen.
Oh my, that would be amazing. It would never happen though.
No, I know. It's just, man. It's just you can't read it now and not think that. I feel like it's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, their chemistry was lacking for me, heavily lacking. Like, which I hate. Like, I don't like that I don't like this book.
Yeah, I get it. I can see it. I feel like these next 3 books, after reading Kiss of the Demon King, yeah, I think that's the title.
Yeah.
Kiss of the Demon or something like that. Like, it was going to be hard to top Sabine's book. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just love them so much. And, like, I didn't get any Sabine in any of these books. I was like, you're already, like, 0.5 off, knockoff. Like, you're not even going to get a full 5 out of me just because I'm missing my favorite characters right now. But I can see it. I feel like now the things that I find things that annoy me about Kresley Cole a little bit that are kind of like poke me in the side. I was like, when I was reading this book, I was like, can we just have like a heroine who just like is 100% into the hero and the hero's not interested or something? Can we do something where it's not, because I feel like in all the books so far, it's like maybe Noemi's book, not too much.
Noemi was interested in him.
Noemi was a little bit different, but for a lot of these books, it's like the Valkyrie's like, yeah.
But then, like, No Rest for the Wicked, it was, she's not interested, which is Sebastian and what's her face,
Katerin.
Yeah. But like that was a change of pace because in the other book, it was kind of not as like she was much stronger about her disinterest. I'm trying to think. Oh, I think when we get to Lothair, I think I might be wrong, but I think Lothair might be that. I feel like Ellie is like not interested at all. And Lothair is like trying to redeem himself as a terrible person. See, we're coming up
Valkyrie though. She's a human?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
We're coming up on some
interesting stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have some interesting things. Okay, Elias, I couldn't remember if she was really or not, or if she kind of was like, what the fuck? I remember her being a very interesting heroine overall, at least. So, and it's hard because I read these in like 2019. My brain is like,
Do I remember that right? Yeah.
But
I don't know. It just felt like these 3 books were like maybe not too much, but after like Kiss of the Demon, I was like, I just wanted more Sabine in my life.
I call these 3 books the slump. These are like the slumpy books.
They really
besides
are.
This next one to me. Like, of the 3, you're gonna love one, I feel like. And then it's kind of the slump for a minute. And then I think the next book I really like. Because we have our first Venom, which is a half demon vampire hero. So we're starting to see some changes. If that makes sense. Some differences. So did you rate the Untouchable Deep Kiss of Winter, whatever the F it's called, 4 stars, 5 stars? What how much did you love this?
I did 4.5.
Wow. I gave it 3.5.
Yeah. I feel like this is like we're just like on 2 different, like I can see where you're coming from.
I see where you're coming from too. It's really
I didn't like the third book that we read. I was literally about I wanted to message you, but I wanted to save it for the live show. I was like, I'm like so ready to throw this book out the window. These characters are annoying the crap out of me. I was like, Cressley, you do not do
like
bad villain characters. It wasn't that. I don't like when Cressley goes into like her whole like let's build up like a big bad type villain or try to be like plot heavy, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me.
It doesn't work for you. But then everybody complains there's no world building, but she's building the world towards the Ascension in that book. She's like, what can I chew on that I'm not supposed to chew on while you're on camera, Dad?
See, you see what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, Kara and Malcolm is going to be a fun one. Okay.
Yeah, it's just because like there's not such like a continuous thread that's very apparent, like with Nalini Singh, where you're like
I feel like
each book you're building.
So when I say this, it's weird, but I feel like your first read, you're just lost, and I feel like on my second read, I'm like, oh, there's things here. Again, like noticing Nyx's prophecies and the things she says, and the fact that like, you know, the more you read it, the more you're like, oh yeah, like Nyx literally can't get a book until the end because Nyx is going to become a god or goddess, you know, most likely. And the way she's like bartering these like favors and people to worship her by like sharing things is very interesting. Again, I also feel like the next book sets us up obviously for our following books, because we see Lothair at the end of this one, right?
Yeah.
Right at the end of Pleasures of a Dark Prince, we see Lothair and Caro get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Or vanished.
No,
it's both, right? Or was it Regan?
Regan. I think it was Regan.
Regan. Okay, yeah, that's right. It's Regan and Lothair. So we get to watch a guy who does vivisections come back and be redeemed in the next round. So
I don't really see like Lothair as like a big bad. I just see him like as like I feel like all these characters are technically morally gray, which is like different scales.
For sure. If you were immortal, wouldn't you be morally gray as who's living on the straight and narrow when you're immortal? Come on. Yeah, Regan, okay.
Regan.
Yeah. I know they all get kidnapped. I just couldn't remember who was at the end of Pleasures of a Dark Prince, even though I finished it this morning. Yeah, we have a hero that performs vivisections coming up on... Is it Demon from the Dark? No. Dreams of a Dark Warrior. It's Declan Chase. This is the one book I rate 3 stars every time. See if that changes. I think he's pretty much unredeemable.
Oh, okay.
Which is sad that Cressley can't convince me, but also, like, you know, there's, like, lines. And it's one of those
There's
lines where I'm
lines
like,
for some readers. Yeah,
I don't
it
know
depends.
if I want it. I think you could probably read Dreams of Dark Warrior if you want.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a book I love. Yeah, I don't like Declan as a hero. And I disagree. If you really, really want to read it, you could just read it. Who cares?
Yeah.
You can go watch my vlogs and get spoilers, honestly.
Yeah.
If you're confused, or just DM me and I'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah. I feel like if you want to just read like a specific book, just don't care about the world building.
I'm literally
just care
reading
about the relationship.
The 14th book of Psy Changeling because I want to read it really bad. I haven't read a single one.
Honestly, you don't have to.
I'm going straight to 14 because I really want to read that one. It has a morality chain, which I love, and there isn't enough of. So, all right. Do you want to talk about Pleasures of a Dark Prince that you hated and I loved? How?
I gave it a 4. I hate is like a strong, like, Cressley
You're like, I gave it a
can't
4
get below
still, so.
It was just, I remember just being more annoyed while reading the book because like just it's mainly the heroine that really kind of annoyed me a little. The hero got on my nerves too, but the heroine is just like her keeping. I just don't like keeping like so much secrets.
I get that, but also like I feel like okay, I felt for Lucia because she like there was some discussion in the Discord about this too, right? Like she has sworn away her like ability to have sex or do anything like that with men or women or whoever the F she wants to have this skill to shoot arrows, and she feels great pain if she misses, right? And she's lived so long in this curse situation. It's not really a curse. I don't know what to call it. And it's just like, I think she's just been struggling her whole life to figure out where she fits because of her mistake when she was 16. Which I feel, so I know you're like, she should have just told him about her husband, the freaking demon man. Which
I was like, instead of going through that whole ending, where she thinks he killed her.
But I think that she has like think about something you did that was really dumb when you were a teen, and then like you're an adult and you're like, oh god. And that's her the whole book basically in my mind. And she's just like, oh fucking A, I don't want to tell anybody about this stupid thing I fucking did. I'm an idiot. I did something so silly. Like, why did I do this? And I that part of it I really enjoyed because I felt like that was realistic. I also felt like, you know, her not wanting to interact with oh my god, Gareth was accurate because she like was just scared. Like, what is this going to do to me? Am I going to lose my powers, my abilities? Not realizing, like, of course, that at this point you're a freaking Valkyrie lady. You have lived how long with this power? Do you really think it's this goddess that gave it to you at this point, or is it just thousands or hundreds of years of skill? And I get that, and she's embarrassed. Like, wouldn't you? Like, that would. I mean, that's kind of embarrassing to have to share.
I completely get it. It was just, it just got on my nerves, quite frankly. Because I was expecting like maybe we're heading into like, because it seemed like she was a little bit before that reasoning dropped that she gave up her ability to have sex to keep her powers.
Yep.
I thought it was like maybe she was like had a history of sexual assault, because I heard whispers that this might be a darker book in the series. So I was like, oh, maybe she has like some trauma that she has, and like that is a barrier that plays into it. But then when that was revealed, and then like she just kept on withholding the secret, even though Gareth like came and saved her like numerous times, I was kind of like, I get it, but for me as a reader, like, my enjoyment, I was annoyed.
I can see that. I just think, I don't know. I really felt for her. I also felt for Gareth. Like, this dude, what a dedicated hero. He followed her around for like a year. He's literally like at the beginning of the book, I'll see you in 2 weeks. And you're like, 2 weeks, huh? All right, we'll see how this goes.
I was
And it's
about to
like
say,
1 year later.
I was like, go have a menage with like what other established couples. Maybe you can find your mate through those means.
It's hard too because Valkyries don't technically have mates.
Yeah,
they can blood
don't.
multiple people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
And
true.
yeah, I think she's
Doesn't
just
that have birth
embarrassed at the end of the
control?
day that she's like having to relive this in her mind all the time because of this guy, Crom, whatever. Which, by the way, Peckoff's voice for him,
It was
terrifying.
amazing. It was so
Terrifying.
good.
It was
It's like,
perfection. I was like, dude, if I heard this coming from anywhere but my headphones right now, I would be screaming and running out of my house.
yeah.
Like, absolutely not.
I guess I would have liked the book more if we got more of the villain throughout the story.
I could see that. Because
it felt like,
for me, it's just my favorite setup.
Happened.
I love that Nyx calls her, you gotta get to the Amazon. You gotta get on the boat. And she's like, okay. She gets there. Garrett jumps across the dock onto the boat and is like, I'm here too. She's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Finds out she's being called Dr. McReeve, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? And Nyx is like, oh, it's just funny. This is hilarious.
Nyx in this book, I was like, I love you so much.
It just cements
you're just so delightfully chaotic.
Pure chaos in the best way. And I love that. And I love the forced proximity of it. Because, like, what's worse than being stuck in a freaking tiny boat cabin with this guy you hate? Well, you shouldn't hate him, but, like, that you're, like, trying to run away from.
Yeah. That was good.
Like, it just was pure trouble. And I love the trouble she made for them. Mm-hmm. And then, like, at the end, like, she has to, like, he's trying to rescue her and she has to save him back. Like, I love that. I love when the heroine has to rescue the hero.
Like, yeah, I really like that too, because I feel bad for him. That was traumatic what he had to go through. Mm-hmm. Like, killing, and then, like, he actually thought, like, he ran to his brothers and told them, like, he had this. I was like, dang. I was like, I feel for you, man. Mm-hmm. Because, like, through that whole book, like you said, like, he's been super loyal. Like, I would have been like, deuces, I'm like, you ain't worth it. Let me go find another Valkyrie to, like, see if I can work my magic on. I'm like, you taking too long.
Poor guy. Like, I mean, he's, like, getting beat up on full moon, so he doesn't chase her down. And it's just, he's such a sweet hero, but he's still a total alpha.
Like, oh, yeah.
They're first
meeting, when they first met each other at the woods, and they literally dry hump each other. I was like, yes, Cressley.
Exactly. It's just so good. I love this book.
I love the chemistry. The chemistry was there.
I think that's the other thing too. This chemistry, like, really, really did a lot.
I think too, it helps,
especially after Untouchable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like good night, read to breathe.
Good night.
Go get some sleep. Yeah. I feel like I wonder if it's because the other two are technically novellas.
Or, like, not over 300 pages.
And everything else that we read in the series has been a full length. So, like, chemistry has time to build, all those other things, versus in the two novellas, it's all insta-love. I don't even know if you can call it that. It's very, like,
they're all kind of insta-love, like, because it's Fated Mates, right? So Fated Mates always has that element of insta-love, but it's like how quick they come together, I guess, makes it insta-love, right? Like, if they're both just like, okay. Boom. Whereas in Cressley, they're all like, no.
I'm gonna go get you aroused, and then I'm gonna run away for 500 years, and then you chase me. That's Cressley Cole.
That is Cressley Cole. I don't disagree with you. That is her brand. Like, I feel like that's her brand, is like angst and a lot of weirdness. I don't know. I think I also love the setup that we're getting for the next books, like the next 3 at the end of this. Like, I think that's part of also why I'm like, ooh, yes, this is what I want. Yeah. Whereas I felt like the other two, the one's book 7, so we should have had more setup for the next book, I feel like, in it than we did. Mm-hmm. But Warlord, It's just like a fill-in weirdness. Yeah.
It is Fated Mates. It is Fated Mates though.
I feel like Fated Mates and Instant Love are like siblings. They're siblings.
Yeah. I feel like you can, if you want to be super specific, there's like Insta Lust and there's Insta Love.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kresley plays with both of them where they have an instant lust. They clearly know they want each other, but you take the rest of the book for them to actually realize that they're in love with each other. So I think it's two different things, but Fated Mates kind of just tends to like combine them both together.
Yeah.
Because it's paranormal. You can say like it's like their biology that calls to them and they just like they're instantly in love. But no, I would say Kresley's more insta lust and then insta love.
Yeah, I agree. They always want to bang like right away if they could.
Of course.
Which is fine. We're all here for that.
Banging
yeah, they're high. They're definitely angsty. This one's definitely angsty too. I feel like comparatively to other Kresley books too. I feel like her other ones aren't. They're angsty, but it's a different kind of angst.
Yeah, I feel like
this is a very internal angst. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So are we getting the rest of the McCreeve brothers? So I know Monroe was mentioned.
Monroe is the one that's not out yet.
Yeah. So I just
this is how early Monroe is mentioned and not even published yet. So book 13 is McCreeve. We'll read McCreeve, William.
Okay.
And that is that was so I had these mixed up. I thought that McCreeve's book was this book, the Amazon one. And like the one we just read, I thought McReeve was this one, was Pleasures of Dark Prince of Plots. So I had them completely swapped in my mind. So that was fun. I was like, wait a minute, this is the one I really like.
This is not the right. Honestly, I had to check our reading order because I feel like the next set of books all have like similar titles.
Yes.
Like, and all the covers are really, really similar. So I was like, I got them all from my library, and I was like, I wouldn't even know, like looking at these books, which would be the next one in the series. Because I don't think they're numbered. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. And Kresley needs to work on her titles. Like,
I know. Demon from the Dark, Dreams of a Dark Warrior, Lothair. It's very confusing. But we do have the thing where like Pleasures of a Dark Prince, and then you have Demon from the Dark, and then Dreams of a Dark Warrior. So like you kind of like are. Yeah, I know they're not like brothers. I just consider them part of like the same pod of families at the end of the day, because they are.
They're a clan, right?
They're a clan,
right?
Yeah. So I just call them brothers instead of calling them a clan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're about to get into like some weird territory, I feel like. But also like I can't believe we're getting close. Yeah, we only have 3 more lives.
3 more lives, yeah.
2.
I just happened to look out.
3.
2, yeah.
3. May, June, and July.
Oh yeah, okay.
3 more lives.
So, I was shocked because like the books are going by.
They're
fast.
quick.
They're really
I agree. I think they're very quick reads. If I was just doing this reread on my own, I'd already be done. I probably would have finished them in about 2 months, I feel like. Because you can just kind of go through them, you know?
You can binge them.
Yeah. Very marathonable.
Oh yeah, easily. Like, and I like collecting the audiobooks for the series.
I spent a while that in 2019, early 2020, just every credit went to these books.
Don't even ask me how much I spent on audiobooks this month. Like, I don't want to see my credit card statement. It's gonna make me sad.
I'm waiting right now for a good offer from Amazon again.
I bought, what was it? 36 credits from Libro this month. That's how many audiobooks I was like going through. But I have something interesting that's not related to the books.
Okay.
Have you listened to the Audiblegate podcast?
No. Hold on. Let me go download that right now.
Let me check the name. I think it's Audiblegate. Yeah, Audiblegate podcast. I'll put the link. Yeah, here it is. I'll put the link in the chat so if anyone wants to check it out. But it's essentially talking about Audible's like practices and kind of like why they decided to change their return policy. So they basically said like they had a consumer call customer support and he actually documented the conversation where he asked, "Hey, I do not want to pay for any of these books. I want to return any of the books that I want at any time and take out another book and return it like a library almost." And Audible basically said like that is okay. You can do that. And apparently they were taking out the returns from the authors.
I get so annoyed. I do not like that some people treat Audible like a library because it's not a library. Get a library card. Like you can literally spend $50 and get a Brooklyn Public Library card and get a ton of them like easily, like so easily. Just don't get it. Like it's not that hard.
Yeah, but essentially they were taking the Audible was basically charging the authors and making them pay for the returns. And then they basically broke down like the royalty share for authors. I think if you're Audible exclusive, it's 70-30 or something like that. Versus if you're wide, it's like 25, like 80 something. It's a very low percentage of the royalty split. So they're basically saying like, and then even within that, you get less. So you're only getting like maybe 12% per audiobook sold.
That's really
it's
sad.
They brought an author who was talking about it. Apparently, like they have way more in the works. That's what led to Audible changing their return policy. Which, okay, I get it. I was like one of those frequent returners, but I didn't return every book that I read. I would only return books that I didn't rate a 4 or 5. But like on my scale, that's like I listen to like 30 audiobooks in a month, so like maybe like 8 to 10 I was returning.
Yeah.
But then I always run out of credits, so I always buy more.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think it like you need to get a Brooklyn Library card. Seriously. You really do. Like the out-of-state libraries have been a godsend for me in my audio listening because I don't listen to quite as many as you do. But I still listen to mostly audio, so I've been able to use that like extensively. And supposedly on Scribd soon we're getting a higher listening speed on Apple.
Oh, nice. I feel like for this year I wanted to like how most people collect like most of the booktubers collect physical books. I wanted to treat my audiobook library as that.
I get that. I mean, Tamika was yelling at me to do an audio library video because I have like 170 some audiobooks.
Don't even get me started. I have like 1,000 in Audible. You want me to show? Let me pull up my.
I love Hoopla, but I only get 5 a month because I live in a very small town.
My Hoopla we get I think 12 or something.
Yeah, we don't get a lot. I live in a very tiny area though. It's fine. I use them. I use Scribd. I use the library. I will at some point renew my Libro FM account to buy books. I'm just not there yet. I'm like, I need to listen to stuff I already freaking own.
I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the number?
It's right 1,000. Oh my God. Charles. Oh my God. That's bananas.
I just look at it as like how most booktubers collect physical books. I collect audiobooks.
No, I get it. And honestly though, like I'm sure you do this too. You buy the ebook and you get that deal for like $7 on the audio or whatever.
Sometimes I do. If I can get it through like KU. Because sometimes if you get it through KU, they give you the discounted price too without buying the ebook. And so sometimes I do that.
If you check a book out from the library, an ebook, they will give you that deal on an audio. I use that a lot.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah,
just
it
know
sucks
me,
people
like
limited number.
I like my 3.5 listening speed, like my 3 to 3.5.
I know.
So like I tried being cheap and like using like iTunes and paying more for the audiobooks, but it took me forever to finish like a 6-hour audiobook because I was stuck on 2 times speed and I got bored so
That
many
sounds
times while
terrible.
listening to it.
That sounds
Because like
awful.
you can technically you can get all the books from Audible through iTunes since they just link to that store, but you have to pay. It's like pretty much full, like not full price. It's still discounted, but it's almost full price.
Yeah, it's
But
still
then you
cheaper
can
to buy
Apple doesn't care
credits.
about returns. You can return at will because Apple has more money than Amazon.
That's true.
But yeah.
Well, Apple's not Jeff Bezos, who just wants to keep all his money.
Yeah. So if you can support Libro FM, do other audiobook
Charles,
services if
you're
you
on the Libro
can.
FM train. These
Well,
few
because like I get they donated 3 months subscription for me to give away, which is really cool. And then if you're I guess like an influencer or a blogger or whatever, you get a selection of 5 audiobooks
I
every
love
month.
them. It's
And I
awesome.
think Eve Brown was last month,
Yep,
the
it
final
was.
book. And you got that audio and like
You
that's
have to
big
have, so everybody here knows you have to have 1,000 subscribers on a platform to get into that. So unfortunately, it's not like anyone can sign up.
Yeah.
But
sometimes they'll reach out to you and ask you if they
they reached out to me after I was
following.
already a member. I was like, I already have it. I love it. You guys are great.
Yeah.
At some
I like
point
that
I
you're
planned
not
it.
pressured.
Yeah, I love that it's really low key, and you can just like get the books, and even if you don't listen to them, they don't care. Not a big deal.
Yeah,
You can
you're
just
not under
kind of.
any obligation to actually review them.
Mm-hmm.
You can say if you
Yes.
want to, you can share it. If you don't,
Yeah, I mean, I share them in my updates, of course, or my mid months. They get romance occasionally.
Yeah, but it's not. If you think it's gonna be only romance, it's not only romance.
No,
It's a variety of titles. You have nonfiction because it isn't geared towards romance.
it's not just
It's
one
geared
group
towards
of people.
audiobook.
Yeah,
It's geared
which
towards
I
audiobook
appreciate because I
listeners.
honestly I like thrillers and audio, and I prefer my nonfictions in audio. So it's very easy for me to be like, okay, cool. I'm just going to listen to this instead of the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I don't always listen to romance. I know that's wild. What a wild concept, but
I feel like sometimes you have to. I feel like reading more romance is maybe more critical of romances. Like I find for like the sex scenes to work, it doesn't have to be explicit or overly descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
I find the best ones are the ones where the characters are in the right place, the emotions are in the right place, it feels right in the story.
Yeah.
Because like you can give me like a paragraph for a sex scene, but if everything leading up to it is working, I read some books where I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like,
yeah,
I
mean,
like, oh,
that will be something I will say about Presley. I always feel like her sex scenes are perfectly placed, and we're like in it. I never am once like, why are we here? What is going on?
They always work. They always land with her, which is hard to do.
Yeah, they do, and I agree. It is. I mean, I think most romance readers are pretty critical at the end of the day, especially as the genre has grown. Well, okay, not most.
I don't know. Like there's some like some of the bigger authors where everything that they write, like some of these authors like L.J. Shen, Lauren Blakely, their books are all not 4 or higher. Some of those books are like a 3 or 2-star at best.
No, you're right. You're right. There are some authors that just get passes. I mean, I don't love Alicia Rye's new series, but I love her old books that she did. But
Yeah,
it's just it's a diversion on what I want out of books, though, if that makes sense. The new ones veer more. They're not women's fiction. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but they veer that way more, if that makes sense. They're catering more towards a different audience versus Forbidden Hearts, which is like pretty taboo for something published by Avon. Yes, I love my text-to-speech on my Kindle. I think, did she write Mr. O or something, or Big Rock, or what did Lauren Blakely write? Okay,
Lauren Blakely, she wrote like Big Rock. She has like those like I can't remember like.
Okay, I liked some of those Big Rock ones. They were funny at least, but
some of her books work, some of them don't. But her audios are always top notch.
I haven't read a lot of her. Yeah, I've got to see. I have to see sex scenes that actually move the story and the connection along between the couple, not just. Unless I'm reading Jessica Kane or Madison Faye, it's not just there.
But even I feel like with them, if they still don't do it right, like if if the sex scenes are not like, it's painful to get through those books. You're just like.
But they're like 20.
I read her bully.
20 pages, but.
I read her Jessica Kane's newest one, her bully romance.
Oh, really?
It's not even a bully romance. You get one scene where he's basically saying all the things that he did to her while they were in high school, and then it fast forwards. So you never actually get like the bullying aspect. But it's called
That's so weird. Romance. A lot of things are called a bully romance these days.
It didn't work for me. I'm like,
a bully romance is another buzzword, I feel like, right now. So
a lot of things in romance are a buzzword. They get you in with a trope, and they don't deliver on the trope, and then you're like, what the actual hell? You told me this was like a billionaire. You told me like it's a billionaire like bully romance, and the guy's only a millionaire, and he's not even a bully. He's a cinnamon roll.
I hate
romances do that. Romances do that. They bait and switch a lot. Like you see a cover, you're like, oh, that has to be super steamy. You read the book.
This is why I hate the illustrated covers. How do I know the content of your book if everything is featureless faces?
Yeah. Even if it's like a half-naked person on the cover, it can be misleading. It can still be a closed-door romance.
Okay, but like if it's poly or menage, I'll see like 3 bodies on the cover at least.
Hopefully, or they may just put it like in brackets next to the title.
And then they'll put it in the wrong order, and you think the swords cross, and they don't, and you're pissed. So you're not wrong. Not wrong.
So Katie has to like say in all her books, sword cross guaranteed in the synopsis.
Oh my god, I read Beyond
Gods. That's a big thing.
I'm not
How
okay.
Was it?
I'm not okay.
I need to read it.
I'm not okay. Y'all, it's so good. I like have a thing for Hades and Persephone books, but I hate them all because they're all terrible. But I still pick them up. I'm like, well, I have to try. Maybe this, like, I mean, I love Lore Olympus. Who doesn't love Lore Olympus? But yeah. Christina Lauren completely left Steamy behind, which is fine. It's fine. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to change your stuff. But I miss the Beautiful and Liar series, Christina Lauren, desperately.
I feel like they don't try to pass it off as like straight. They're more like, I'll put them in the same lane as like Emily Henry's books. What's it called? The Proposal, I think. Is that the name?
Husband Gallery?
No, it's Emily Henry, where they switch. Beach Read. I put Christina Lauren in that same strata where it's half and half.
Unlike I hated Beach Read, but I feel like Beach Read read more women's fiction than Christina Lauren even reads women's fiction, if that makes sense.
I feel like they're like in like the same.
They're close, though. You're right. You're not
wrong.
They're
similar vein. Like you can sell them as a romance, but like.
But like, there's in the Unhoneymooners, there's like a BJ scene, and I got yelled at by somebody because I said it was closed door, and they're like, no, they showed them like putting on a condom or something, and I was like, huh? I was like, that is not. That is not.
Honeymooners is definitely closed door. I'm sorry, you guys. Like, it is 100% closed door. You get like fade to black, and then the next morning.
And they would have had good chemistry in that. That was really disappointing.
See, that's what made it okay for me, because it's like the chemistry was there. So like I love everything else in the book.
in the bedroom.
Yeah. I just wish like romances
wherever they're feeling it, you know. I want to see it out on the page.
Yeah.
But I also like. I mean, there are good closed doors. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying closed door is bad. It can be good.
Have you read Catherine Center?
No, I'm terrified.
She's another like women's fiction-y romance. She's in that same vein. She has all her books are really good that I've read so far.
I've just been nervous because like I know our friend Chloe always booked loves them and I love her. And we don't align on taste as much as I adore Chloe in most things. So I'm just like, I don't know if I like it. Okay, the Alexa app. You download it on your phone or your tablet and just tell them to read to you.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
You're welcome, Melissa.
It's pretty chill. But yeah, it's a whole thing. I do like that about Cressley. We always know we're gonna deliver.
That's like the biggest thing that I'm looking for is can a romance author deliver? I don't like when romance authors change from book to book so much that you lose like
that's what I wonder.
Take, like Hey Lindy, like it's like
do they have a ghostwriter?
I don't know.
Is it a ghostwriter? Just saying.
I feel like they may. It's like imagine if Cressley came out with like let's say she released Monroe and it was a closed door romance.
I would riot in the streets. We would find her, Charles. We would find her.
I would like gather a bunch of us together and like, okay, we're gonna write the scenes as we think they would go and then insert them into the book.
We will write the fan fiction. Are you kidding me? I swear, if we don't finish the series and there isn't an announcement, I'm just gonna get blitzed on that last stream. I can see that. I liked them when I read them back in the day. I read them when I was much younger.
Yeah. And I want to read the market. You can't do, but I don't know. You have Penelope Douglas's like Bully series that was published as YA back in the day. I think so.
She needs to get their shit. That one, the Poison Princess is definitely YA. It's very like love triangle. It's based around tarot decks. It's dystopian. I really liked what I read of it personally. It has that same Cressley flavor, just toned down a little.
Yeah.
So
that'd be inappropriate if like her YA series was like had the same content as her adult series. Imagine like a young kid going like, "Oh mom, I want to read Poison. I want to read the Poison Princess trilogy," and then the mother reads it like, "What are you reading?" He did awful. What and put what where?
I got through book 2 in that series, and then I stopped, which I'm glad I did, since I think book 4 is still not out yet. The final book. Book 6 isn't out yet. I lied. She hasn't published one since 2018. Is Cressley okay?
It could be like pandemic and everything, and then it was already because I hear from a lot of writers that like the pandemic
this year's been hard.
It's been affecting their. So maybe I think a lot of books that we would have seen got pushed out even further because they're just taking so long to write, which I get.
I feel for them. I just hope we hear something about Monroe soon. I have read her Master series. It is one of my favorites. The 3rd book is my all-time favorite. I'm hoping Charles reads them after we finish IAD. If you want to see Cressley take a Immortals After Dark hero, like paranormal alpha hole hero, and put it in contemporary, that's what this series does. Like it no joke takes that like that whole like the mix of that hero and just is like boop, into contemporary you go.
Yeah, I need to read them. I think I.
Could you try again?
I have the
audio. I was not talking to you. Shut up.
Rude.
I know.
Should like come back to you and say like rude, Izzy. Like how dare you? Like I was just trying to help you.
She's annoying.
Oh, back to Cressley. Can we say I love the Valkyries' birth control? Like it's mentioned
They just
throughout
don't
all the
eat.
books. Like they just
It's
don't.
the
But if they
best.
eat, they become fertile. I love
When
that
I
so
tell
much.
you that most women would be like, sweet, absolutely. I would just not eat if it means I didn't have to deal with that every month.
Yeah, because I think it was in book 2, the second book that we read, Untouchable, where the guy had the condom, and she was like, wait, why do you have that? Like, us Valkyrie are super infertile, like, if we just only feed off the energy of the world and lightning. I love that. So she immediately thought he was cheating. I was like, what an ingenious way to see if someone's cheating.
It's perfect.
It's because it gets mentioned so many times, so I just pick up on it in each of the books. I'm like, that is really interesting.
I mean, it's smart because it's kind of like a easy out of like, we don't have to deal with this. You don't have to be like in the back of your head, like, oh no, are we going to get the baby scare? If you know the Valkyrie hasn't eaten on the page, you know you're good.
I can totally see a hero like somehow like slipping like a piece of pizza or something and like tricking the Valkyrie. Could you imagine that being a book?
Okay, the other thing I forgot to mention is my favorite thing ever in all of these books is when they're like, huh? You're a Valkyrie? Where the fuck have you been? they're like raising hell in New Orleans, the Valkyries, constantly. Like, do not tell me that like they're not raising hell. And all the guys are like, whoa, it's a Valkyrie. And like stunned. And I'm like, y'all have figured this out by now? Like, your brother is married to a Valkyrie, your buddy over there. And they're just like, oh, you're a Valkyrie. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Like, y'all need to communicate.
I feel like the Valkyrie do have a legit PR problem because they end up killing everyone wherever they go. So like, who can spread the fear and terror?
You're not wrong. You know, I mean, yeah, I can see that. I just
that would be like one house. Yeah.
Also, in Untouchable, she's like, doesn't she have to get the Xbox? No, in Warlord Once Forever, she's like,
Warlord. She likes that playing Xbox.
I love the Valkyries. They're just like, we just party all the time, y'all. Like, it's cool.
I like remember like where they said like maybe you can come back to the house. Like they'll tolerate you, but bring your brother. Sorry, they'll kill him right on sight. But maybe we can get them warmed up to you.
They're like in Untouchable. They're like, oh, we thawed your room. Like we turned it off. She's like, you did what? And they were like, it's too loud or something. And I was just like, oh my God.
Just imagine a Nyx book and it's a surprise baby because she messes up and like ends up eating. I would just love that to happen.
Or no, she like can't see her own future, so she has no idea. So she's been eating because she like wanted a good snack.
And then I can see her like just going like, there's something in me. Oh no. I remember I wrote this post-it note like 2 days ago saying, you just ate a hamburger.
Oh, it'd be so good if it was Secret Baby for Nyx. Yeah, I like that they pop popcorn and throw it at the TV. It's so good. It's just, they have a PR problem and they're the best. I love the Valkyrie so much.
Like, that would be one house I would actually be like legitimately scared. Like, even
I
would
be like, this is great. Let's hang out.
Because you're a female. They won't kill you.
They wouldn't kill you. You'd be like, yeah, we'll throw popcorn at the TV. It's fine.
They'd be like, can we, like, is he immortal? Like, so we can't, so like, they'll be like, so Nyx, can we stab him? No,
like, no.
Sorry, he'll die. He'll die if you stab him. Can we like do some non lethal forms of torture? I love Valkyrie.
Because you're not immortal. Like, they're fine with everyone else. They just don't want to deal with immortals because they're assholes. They come up in their space and try to fuck shit up. They're like, no, absolutely not. And that's what happens to your parents, and 2 of them are gods.
I love the Valkyrie. They frustrate me, but then I still love them sometimes.
They're
Like I remember one of the
so
characters made a point where I think it was the brothers. I think the other two brothers were like, "Hey, Eli, you have to realize she's like a 3,000-year-old being. You're gonna have to bend to like fit her well." Like, I was like, that is so true. They remind me of like the stubborn like old grandparents, like the really 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 old
100%.
people.
Yeah. They're just like,
But
no,
they're not gonna
absolutely
change. Like unless it's gonna take them like maybe like 500 years in their timeline to be like, okay, maybe I can consider you as a mate.
I mean, I wouldn't say the McGreeve brother, like family and clan, aren't much different, or the Roth brothers either, because they're like, well, gotta go get this key so I can go save my siblings, or this or that, and like, you know, Conrad's over here like, I have to kill myself because I'm doing bad things.
Yeah, I love that we got a little bit like Conrad's story in what was it, Untouchable?
I think
I think
so.
so.
Yeah.
Was it Untouchable? I think it was
I
Untouchable.
know it's one of the two. The novellas I cannot. The novellas I can't keep straight in my brain.
They're like, I would say like a novella to me is like maybe a 1 hour to 2 hour audiobook.
Yeah.
Like 100 pages. Like when you're in like
pre-sped
pushing
up.
300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I mean. I just can't keep them straight. I'm also, almost out of wine, so.
Yeah. But I think, should we announce? So the next live show will be on Izzy's channel, May 7th.
Yeah, May 7th.
I
And
don't know
it'll
which
be
books we're going to read.
Demon from the Dark, Dreams
Okay.
of a Dark Warrior, and Lothair.
I really want to read
We have a
Lothair.
special guest that lives in the Appalachia region for Lothair. They're only going to read that book probably, but that's fine.
Yep. That's the only book and yeah. Yeah, I really want to read Lothair. Because he's been teased in...
We have seen him in like every book almost.
Oh, really? I only noticed him in Kiss of the Demon King.
He's been in some other ones. He shows up at the big fight in the Valkyrie house and helps them.
Oh, yeah, and right? Oh, yeah, that's true.
He like shows up and he's like, shh, and then he does shit and then he leaves. He's stealthy ninja man. I love Lothair because, one of my favorite body part items I think happens in this book if I recall correctly. Ooh. So it's this one, and I think there's one other possibly. But yeah, he has a big role in the next two books. And also, as a note, we had no body parts lost in these 3 books.
Oh yeah, no, there was none.
Which is really weird, and maybe that's why
death in the 3rd book. There's a couple of deaths in the.
But it's not a body part. Remember, it's just body parts.
It's not a body part. Yeah, no, there isn't.
No limbs lost. Disappointing.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't.
Imagine just being sad because there's no limbs. But yeah, so it'll be on my channel. It's already scheduled, so you can go over there and click the reminder. And it'll be at 9:00 again, just like this one was. I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm excited. So excited. Sorry, you guys, like these were not the best 3 books. I feel like we went through them really quickly.
Yeah, we went on great tangents. It's fine. That's why I brought wine. I was like, I'll get tipsy. It'll be great.
But yeah. So next month on Izzy's channel, like I said, do the reminder so you don't forget to join the Discord if you haven't already. If you want to talk all about it, if you want to add to like the limb count or do whatever or talk about the books, you can do that. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. We will catch you guys next month on Izzy's channel. And if you have any questions about the readathon or whatever, or you have questions about Cressley Cole and her books in general, ask Izzy. Don't ask me. I will not know. But
I'll do my best.
But thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, we'll see you next month.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.